This is the Dolton Valley, coming back from Pruddle's Woodworking. I don't know, I just saw a dead cat in the road. You know, it's really messed up around here, but you know, it is what it is. I guess I'll drive through a couple valley streets Sunday, 11:45. And they called it the Valley because it's like a little ridge. There's Jocko's house. Jocko Marzullo. Oh my God. Wow. And the Kenzels are around here. Yeah, I was here in the late 70s, mid 70s, when Jocko lived here. He first went to St. Mary's. I got a car coming through. It reminds me of my part of Dalton. My part of Dalton that didn't have much room between the lanes. I mean, between the sides of the streets to pull through. I remember that 2-flat. It's kind of weird. A 2-flat in the middle of homes, old frame homes. Somebody spec built that. So there's the old Stooges. Well, you're not seeing what really made me sad. Is how messed up Tri-City and that whole area was. I mean, really jazzed up. I'm being nice saying jazzed up. I could say a different word. If you see, you can't see the sign where Tri-City Little League used to be. I mean, Dalton Boys Baseball. It says state-of-the-art baseball complex coming soon. I think that's been there for a couple of years. Yeah, there's Stooges. And they built a little thing on the side here, like a little addition. Maybe that would, no, that must have always been there. Really, really messed up houses. Some aren't as bad. I remember an old lady that told me she grew up in that house. And it's like an apartment-looking house. I forgot all about that old lady. It's funny, the things you remember when you see the images or the places that you remember about the person you talked to about it and stuff. So that used to be a gas station. I forgot the name of the gas station. And people would watch the parade from there, and I think it was there, the Danglers, and it was something before that too. You know what? I don't really feel like waiting for this train. I'm gonna have to wait for it anyway, so I'm gonna go through another Dolton Valley street maybe. I don't know what I should do. I could. Yeah, why don't I do that? We'll take a look. It's a Sunday. The one day you can do stuff like this. So that's that factory that used to be out there. I guess I'll get kind of close to it. We'll see what it is. It's a lot less boring than waiting for the train. That's in back of the library. I forgot the name of this. I didn't realize there was a street of homes back here. I'll be darned. Well, whatever this street was, Catalpa or something like that. And we'll go see what this is. These are always really old frame homes. And they're older than they ever were now. Really old ass houses. They used to call them, some of them bungalows. Like that would be referred to as a bungalow in the 20s. The ones we have in Dalton that we call bungalows now, that's really more like a Levittown kind of a version of a bungalow. You know, mass produced. When they made them in these days, they were just one-off cookie cutter homes, like Sears catalog ones, you know. So every one of these is different. This is not a subdivision, even though they probably built them all at the same time. People would buy lots. Oh, look at that. Now you will only see one-off homes with stone like that one in places like this. Riverdale around Ivanhoe has stuff like this too. And the old part of Riverdale, the north part, 138th, 137th and stuff. So I would like to go through downtown Dalton, if I can call it that, and come back again. This is a lot better than waiting for the train, which is still going through. I can see, so you can see it in the distance down there. See, but okay, maybe this would be a more interesting video than I thought it was going to be. I didn't come down this street yet, Park. So here's our Park Street. Does anybody remember any of these? Do you ever know anybody that lived in the Dolton Valley? It's a teeny tiny little area. So we pretty much saw 70% of it already in just these couple streets. So maybe some of these homes ring a bell. Leave a remark, I guess, in the video when you watch it later. Say, oh, I remember when blah, blah, blah lived over there. I played over there when I was a kid. So, really old houses. You know, I, like many of you, or probably most of you, lived in that bungalow belt area. I would say 85% of us, maybe 90, lived in, not probably about 80%, lived in post-World War II housing, you know, that was modern suburbia subdivisions to some extent or another. Whether it be Ivanhoe Manor, which was the first, the Pope's subdivision, or 1950s bungalow belt subdivisions, pre-Pasquinelli, and then Pasquinelli tries, and they built some of the earlier bungalows too. But I think they came around more like the early 60s when most of that was already built out in Dalton. So if you look, you can kind of see the village hall right over that train. So that's cool. Still there. And again, I don't remember what the name was of that factory, but I know that that gas station stood there. But I don't know what the name of that gas station was. I just don't know. But I came back from Prettle's Woodworking, and I've got a video, several videos. We were inside there. The Prettle family was in there with me and a few other people today, and Kim Zimbanini and a few other people. So we had a good time looking at everything, and now we're all coming home. Since I have to go through Dalton, I thought that it would be cool to get my phone out and take a few videos. But I forget how sucky, and I'm trying not to use other words, it was to get caught by trains around here, because it happened all the time, especially if you went to St. Mary's. It was a gauntlet. Matter of fact, we are in the golden vice, because you could conceivably get caught by two trains at the same time, because there could be one going through here, and that one does not necessarily cut off the other one. It goes down there. Like sometimes one might have to stop. Well, this is really more or less a freight yard with homes attached, or a subdivision freight yard, because they all had the right of way and the line of way long before any homes were built. The railroad was here in the 1860s and 70s. Illinois Central and all the belt lines, they were here first. Matter of fact, this railroad line, which included Dalton Station, which is a little farther down the line, and used the same passenger freight tracks, which was common. The IC had freight and passenger IC, and still does. But now it's Metra. And the IC freight still exists. Matter of fact, their cars still say that. So that never went away. Railroads, oh, here's the end of it. Have always been an important part of our village. Remember, there used to be a caboose, and now there's just another locomotive or nothing at the end. You know you're old if you remember cabooses, right? And they were always red. A lot of kids' stories about the littlest caboose and Thomas the Train Engine and all that stuff. So before and after my time, the little engine that could, that's the one I remember. Like a morality tale of engine that couldn't do anything. Now the guy is probably pissed off because I'm taking the video and I didn't move, but I never would have been able to get anywhere anyway because all these cars have to clear, so I don't think he could be too mad. Boy, a lot of cars coming out of that area on a Sunday. Wow. I kind of want to get out of this area as soon as I can, but I gotta wait. The car in back of me decided he wanted to get the hell out of here. Go ahead. So now I can make my move. Okay. Time for downtown Dalton, and no accidents, please. I don't need that. I have enough troubles. Enough troubles. I don't have to get in an accident in Dalton. All right. Okay. There's a beautiful village hall. Should I park there? No. Yeah. Why not? Okay. So let's take a little look at it. Doesn't look so good because it's not used as a village hall anymore. It's called the Harper Municipal Center. But I suppose they still use the fire station here. I'm sure. But not, I don't know. There's the Dalton Fire Department. Dalton Police Department. And a few homes. The safest home in Dalton, right across the street from the Dalton Police Department. It looks like it's foreclosed because I can see the green sticker on it. All right. Okay. Yeah, Village Hall needs just a little bit of work. It's built like a brick whatever, so it's never going down. A major hurricane probably wouldn't tear the former Park School down. That was what used to be Lincoln School, by the way, and you guys know that whole story. And then the teachers got pissed off because they couldn't hear their classes because of the trains coming through and the smoke would go through the windows, so they couldn't open the windows when it was hot. And so we decided to move down the street, which we will be passing shortly, and then rename it Lincoln School after Lincoln Avenue. There's the Dalton Library. Very nice. You guys know the plant, what everything used to be. That used to be Dalton Liquors. It's a beautiful gravel lot, very pretty. The old bank. I don't know what the hell it is now. And I would get out, and I may. Matter of fact, I think I will, and I don't really kind of care. I'm old. When I go, I go. This my time is my time. But I'm going to pull in this lot. And we're going to take a little walk and see what used to be next. You know, this is going to be kind of a fun video, I guess, right? Let me see. If I don't get shot, it'll be a good day. But let me get out of here real quick and take a look. And I'll get back in. It's a Sunday. It's God's day. Okay. So maybe God will protect me a little bit. All right. Let me see. Don't see anybody that looks threatening here, so I guess we're okay. So it's hard to believe that this was everything that we spent so much time in. I'm walking right through the old hazy days in Princeton Music School. I wanted to kind of do this, but I didn't know I was going to do it today. Okay. This is what it all used to be. Not very big of a lot, huh? We're walking in the old Knicks. This is exactly where all that bar was, where all the Bears players came, the Mike Tomczak show. Exactly here. This is near the end of Knicks Bar, right here. Trophies are us. Okay. This was the restaurant part of Nick's. This was where Princeton Music School was. Right on this spot in 1960, 8, I was taking piano lessons. And I played on top of Old Smoky at the Dorchester Club for our recital. In 1971, with Mrs. Story, I played a song called Chopsticks at the same place. And then one time it was closed, so we had to go to the warehouse, the piano warehouse, which was one store over there, for 1 week and have our lessons. But I'm standing right where the Princeton Music School was, and I can kind of see the bricks a little bit. You can kind of see them a little bit. And here's a little bit of the foundation. And then that other bar in the back was right here. And a rabbit just jumped out. So, definitely reverted back to nature. Not particularly a well-tended lot. You think they could have made a park with swings or something. It was just a bunch of dandelions. Well, that used to be MB Bank. Then they closed that up. And there's the old Cook's where it says Dalton Food and Liquor. And that's no longer there either. We went to the old Dairy Queen, and then that closed up too. Anybody remember these buildings? I'm a bad boy here. Walking around by myself all over the place. I gotta watch it for broken glass. There's broken glass over this freaking place. Not where I'm parked. I did look for that. You know what to look for when you drive around these areas. So let's see. Put my belt on in case somebody clips me. Excuse me. Well, I kissed the sky here. Okay. Our trip continues. Let me back up so I don't run over any glass. I don't need any flat tires. I have enough problems. And there's more cars. Train cars. You forget until you come back here how many trains that we all had to deal with, because I guarantee you probably that you guys all moved into areas where you don't have trains anymore in Northwest Indiana or whatever state you guys ended up in now. And they're all out here. We got used to hearing all that. It was just like normal. It was normal, abnormal not to hear train cars and whistles where we grew up. But we sure had a lot of them. I'm just trying to avoid the broken glass, otherwise it would have made a nice 3-point turn. I gotta make about a 12-point turn. If you see that green building in back of the old Flagler, that is one of the oldest buildings in Dalton. And that was where the Dalton doctor lived, according to Marlena Cook. Right there in the green part, just to the left of that. So, anyway, where should I go? No, let me go this way. I gotta go down Chicago Road anyway. You might remember something called the Dalton Theater. There it is, in Washington Street. Our old Dalton Theater. So let me just drive past the back of it. It's the one time I can do it. It's pretty dead around here. There's your Dalton Theater. There's the door they would let out with that little light over it at night. And there's the back doors. A few other buildings. These were really old frame houses in back. Ancient. Somebody's got solar panels on his. All right. I never knew there was a street that went back here too. Oh, that's that Park Street. Okay, I guess this comes out on Greenwood, right? Okay. These are oh, what a beautiful house that is, huh? I forgot about this street, kind of in back of the newer Hornies. And I'm going to take a left on here because I want to go down. Oh, geez, another train? Damn. I forget how many trains. Yeah, pretty messed up. Look at, nothing's really taken care of around here anywhere. It's messed. It's jacked up. It's jazzed up. Everywhere. Pretty rough. But I guess the one time to come out here is a Sunday, right? All right. I forgot to tell you something. If you guys remember Dr. Levinson's original building on the corner, that used to be a grocery store in the 1920s, that's completely boarded up. That's it right there. Lost to mankind. Who would have ever thought that there was an eye doctor for all the village? For all the village. Way back when, in the later 50s. Yep. Pretty messed up area. Yeah, you'll be seeing Mr. Ed's in a second to our right. There he is, or used to be. Then he moved to Oak Forest and was a trustee, I think, or a park district head. Very involved man. There's Quantz. And then he died. There's Franklin School. Slips, no sign. The old J and Ernie's, no sign. That's pretty messed up, and there's not even signs. Just an empty cage. I thought that was J and Ernie's. I guess what? The only thing that it does have a sign is the liquor store that used to be J and Ernie's. It's still called Liquor City. I guess you have a name like that. Why change it? You know. The best name in the world, J and Ernie's Liquor City. Just drop the J and Ernie's, keep it Liquor City. Everybody likes names like Liquor City, which apparently is what they still call it. Isn't that nice? So that used to be Cavallini's. Now it's a strip mall, and all these zillions of apartments in Chicago Road. And why anyone would ever want to live in a busy street like this, I don't know, but I guess there's a $15,000 discount, or a $20,000, all things considered. If a home is on a busy street like this, you're certainly not going to get a premium price for that. That's for sure. And on the other hand, it is convenient, but then again, you've got to watch all these cars and breathe all the fumes of a heavy commercial corridor. I don't think I'd want to live on a busy street. No way. So anyway. This is the end of my tour at Norco, because we're hitting the beginning of South Holland. I guess you enjoyed the tour. I didn't that much, but it was what it was, you know. It's kind of sad, but now you know. A lot of work needs to be done in the whole area, if it ever is. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Adios.